Well, good morning and welcome to a new vlog. I'm here this morning at Moana, which is a little settlement about half an hour outside of where I live in Greymouth on the west coast of the South Island of New Zealand. It's a beautiful place and it's a gorgeous morning here this morning. Moana is a little settlement that is built up around a lake, Lake Brunner, which you can see behind me. And it's a fantastically misty, moody morning, so this morning that's what I'm going to try and capture on my camera. And so I'm going to set up here by the jetty and start here this morning, see what I can get here for a while and then move up further. I'm shooting this morning with my new camera. It is the Fuji X-E1 rangefinder style mirrorless camera here on the tripod. I bought it about a month ago as my new lightweight mirrorless travel camera, but I've been incredibly impressed with the sensor on this little Fuji. It's a 16 megapixel X-Trans sensor. It's the first generation X-Trans sensor, and it has amazing low light capabilities, dynamic range. It's got no anti-aliasing filter, so it's incredibly sharp straight out of the camera. So I'm using that this morning to capture these landscapes. I'm fairly confident that it's going to do an amazing job. I've also set it up with some filters. I think, as you can see there on the front, I've got a neutral density filter to just slow the shutter speed down a bit, and I've got also a little half and half neutral density filter to just lower the exposure in the sky. So I'll take a few of those and we'll have a look at the kind of images we can get out of this lovely little Fuji X-E1. One thing I love about the Fuji system is the ability to shoot in what they call film simulation modes. Now, obviously Fuji are an old film company. They used to make, or still do make, film, and so they've got a long history and a heritage in photography. Their digital cameras are relatively recent. This X-E1 was brought out in 2012, but they've incorporated their classic film modes into their cameras, so you can shoot in Astia simulation or Valvia or ProVia, and you can also input your own film simulation recipes, and there are many of those on the internet. I really enjoy shooting in the black and white film simulation mode, and if you shoot RAW plus JPEG, then you get the best of both worlds. You get the colour RAW file with all the data that the sensor can record, and you get a film simulation JPEG which is baked in to the file, and you get both of those, so you get a black and white and a colour image all in the one shot, which is fantastic. The Fuji X-E1 is a lovely little rangefinder style camera to shoot with. I guess you could almost call it Leica-esque in its styling and its looks. Very retro 70s rangefinder looking camera. But the thing that drew me to it was not only its retro looks, but also the fact that it has an electronic viewfinder. The camera I was using as my little mirrorless go-to camera prior to this was the Olympus Pen EP3, and as much as the Olympus system is a lovely system, I used to get annoyed with the pen because it didn't have an electronic viewfinder. You had to compose on the LCD screen, and I don't really enjoy that. I'm too old school for that. I like to look through the viewfinder, especially when I'm hand holding. It's not so bad when it's on a tripod like it is now. I'll use the LCD screen on the back to compose. But if I'm hand holding and this little camera almost begs to be handheld, wandering around rangefinder style, then I really do want to have that electronic viewfinder up to my eye, so that I've got a stable point of contact and I can actually see both hands holding the camera and the lens, a nice stable platform. I find the arms outstretched LCD composition way of shooting to be far too unstable, even with image stabilizing modes that they have in cameras nowadays. Well, as you can see, the light has gotten brighter. The mist and the cloud is starting to burn off. It's going to be a gorgeous day. So now that there's a little more light around, I think I'll take the camera off the tripod and I think I'll go handheld. I think that's one of the great things about using a little rangefinder camera like the X-E1. You can just pick it up, hand hold it, and wander around taking some shots. So I think I'll do that. Just wander around the bay here and just take some photos, and we'll bring them up and see what I get handheld with the X-E1. One thing that I'm not super crazy about with the X-E1 is the battery life. It's rated for about 350 shots, I think, and with a lot of use with the LCD screen, it certainly feels like 300 to 350 shots is about its limit. It drains batteries quite quickly, and they're not particularly big batteries. So unlike my digital SLR, which I can get over 1,000 images with, the battery on the X-E1 is good for a couple of hours of solid shooting, I guess. I've been here for about an hour and a half and the battery's showing about 1/4 of a power left. Fortunately, they're fairly cheap and I've got a couple of spare backups, so I'll be fine shooting all morning, but I'll have to replace the batteries probably in the next 1/4 of an hour, 20 minutes. So battery performance not great, but that's kind of par for the course for these smaller mirrorless type cameras, which tend to chew through batteries because they use the LCD and the sensor. They're not going through an optical viewfinder, it's all electronic, so it does tend to suck up battery juice. But other than that, just carry a couple of spare batteries. Small battery issues aside, what I really love about the X-E1 is its layout. It's got all of the dials that I want to access really right there by my thumb. I shoot in aperture priority mode with all of my cameras, and on the X-E1 the exposure compensation dial is right next to the thumb, so I'm setting my aperture, I'm setting my ISO, and I'm riding that exposure compensation wheel constantly looking through the viewfinder, through the electronic viewfinder, so I can visibly see the changes of the exposure before I take the image. So that's just wonderful. I have everything up to the eye. My thumb is just rocking on that exposure compensation dial. Everything else is set, and it's just a matter of knowing exactly what I'm going to get before I take the image because of the mirrorless viewfinder. So all the buttons are reasonably large, and especially for such a small camera, I can find them all very quickly. As I said, I've only been using this for a couple of weeks, but already I'm building up some muscle memory, and it's very quick, very easy to access all the dials. So it's a joy and a pleasure to shoot with this lovely little rangefinder style Fuji camera. But I guess really at the end of the day, what matters the most for any system is its image quality. And fortunately, with this little Fuji X-E1 and the Fuji system in general, the image quality really is superb. The images are gorgeous. The film simulations add an extra sauce to the mix, but really the raw images straight from camera have heaps of latitude and are just a joy to work with. So I'm thoroughly enjoying using the X-E1 system, and I think that going forward I'm going to enjoy using this not only as a travel camera, but also like today when I can get out and take some landscapes with it. It's a more than capable landscape camera as well. So all in all, it's a fantastic system and highly recommended. These little X-E1s are about 6 or 7 years old now, so you can pick them up quite cheaply second hand, especially without a lens. If you add a lens it's a little more, but again this kit lens is relatively cheap. So if you can pick up a little unit like this, then I highly recommend you do so if you're looking for a very capable travel camera to just pop in the bag and pop in the car and take with you, but that's capable of creating stunning images. Then highly recommended. I'm really enjoying using it, and I know that I'll enjoy using it going forward. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the images from today. I certainly enjoyed taking them and making them with this lovely little camera. And so until next time, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'd really do appreciate it, and if you'd love to comment on any of my vlogs, then I'd be much appreciated, and will certainly respond to all the comments. So thanks for watching, and until next time, haere rā from New Zealand.